guys. Not here today, and we are going to do a quick video lesson. So, make sure right now, if the sub has not, sub, if you would please pass out the exponent worksheet for the students. If this needs to happen, let's go ahead and pause the screen and get that taken care of. Now, we're going to work through some of these together. It should be a review, but want to make sure that we've actually talked about this information. Here's our joke for today. What sound does a witch's car make? Broom, broom. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to get rid of my ugly mug, and we are going to begin here. Okay, so starting here at the top, okay, this first type here, we have our product property. Now, in our product property, okay, that is when we are multiplying these things together. Now, in the product property, we are going to be multiplying, get my better marker. We're going to multiply the coefficients. Remember that the coefficients, that's the numbers in front of the variables. And then we are going to add the exponents. Okay. Now we're going to do a few of these here together. I do want to highlight a special rule as we go through this. When it does come up, we will start to talk about it. So number one here. So our coefficients, our two coefficients are the fours. Okay. We are not changing the rules for multiplication. Okay. 4 times 4 is still 4. Or sorry, 4 times 4 is still 16. Okay. So that's not going to change. Now, the rule is when I'm multiplying my m's, okay, those variables together, I'm allowed to add the exponents. When I have m to the fourth times m to the third, I'm going to add those exponents together. 4 plus 3 is 7. So this would simplify to be 16 m to the 7th. Now, in number 2, okay, kind of brings up this little bit of a unique thing with our v's, okay? When it's just the v, like this, what we need to remember is that those have an exponent. We just don't write them. It is v to the first power. So both those v are v to the first power. So we have our coefficient. The only one we have is a 2. And then we have our 2v to the first multiplied together. So I would be coefficient of 2. It's the only one. And with my v's, I'm going to add the exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. So that would be 2v squared. In number 3, we do not have any coefficients to worry about. We just have our k's. Okay? So with these k's, they are being multiplied. We are going to add them together. 2 plus 0 is 2. So it's k squared. Okay? Going to do 2 more here. Number 4, we have our coefficients. 2 times 4. And we have our n's. N to the 4th and n to the 4th. So with the coefficients, multiply the coefficients. 2 times 4 is 8. With our n's, we're going to add those exponents. 4 plus 4 is 8. That would be 8 n to the 8th. Now, the last one I want to go over here is number 8. Okay, one of them that has multiple letters in the problem. Okay, so we have our coefficients, 3 and 4. We also have our m's, m to the third. And remember, this is m to the first. It's helpful to write that number down. That way we remember to do our addition of exponents correctly. And then we have our n to the 4th and our n squared. So notice we put our like variables together. Then we start. Coefficients. 3 times 4 is still 12. We're not changing that. M to the third times m to the first, we are going to add those exponents. So 3 plus 1, that's going to be m to the fourth. And with our n's, we're going to add those two exponents, 4 plus 2, and that would be 6. Okay? So that is the product property. Now, let's go ahead and skip ahead so we can get our next section practice a little bit. And let's look here at the quotient property. Now, in the quotient property, we are going to divide the coefficients, and we are going to subtract the exponents. Now, when we do talk about divide the coefficients, okay, that part, I can think about it as I'm going to simplify my fraction. Okay, because that's really what we're doing there. Okay. Now, when we do subtract the exponents, we have to start with the top exponent. So it'd be the top one subtracting the bottom one. Okay, that would be the consistent process that we would take. Okay, so as I start here, number 16. So first off, we have the fraction, the coefficients, 4 over 3. Now, this particular fraction cannot be simplified. Okay, so we would still have 4/3. Now with the b's, on the top, we have a b to the fourth, and on the bottom, we have a b to the first. Okay, so the correct subtraction problem we'd be doing is 4 minus 1. And 4 minus 1 is 3. Now I want you to notice I put my answer on the top. It's because it's a positive exponent. Okay, when I'm doing division, I get a positive exponent. Those go on top. Okay, and we should see only positive exponents today. Now, number 17, we're going to have one of our rules come up for the first time. So, the fraction first. 2 over 4. 2 over 4, that fraction simplifies, and you can use your decimal scientific calculator for that. Okay, that fraction simplifies to be 1 over 2. Now, my x's, x to the fourth over x to the fourth. We are dividing, so we do subtract, and we get 4 minus 4. Now, this is the first time we end up with a final part with our variable that has an exponent of 0. Okay? And there is a special rule here. You should go ahead and make sure you write it on your paper. Anything raised to the 0 power equals 1. Okay, so what happens here is we have x to the 0 power. Well, x to the 0 power is just the number 1. So I no longer have any x's. And kind of think about it, it's telling us that we have 0 x's left in this problem. So my answer is just 1/2. That's it. Okay, I don't have any x's left because that became a 1. Okay, now we're going to see this in division a number of different times, and we're going to see this with our power property a little bit later. Number 18, these tend to get missed a lot, but they tend to get missed because we're not seeing the fraction. The fraction here is 1 over 2. So I got my fraction of 1 over 2. That's simplified. There's nothing to do with that. And then my v's. Top minus bottom. So it'd be v to the third divided by v to the first. So I have 3 minus 1. And 3 minus 1 is positive 2. Okay. You could leave it like this. You're going to see it in the book, typically written as just v squared over 2. They will not write that 1 in front of the v squared. Okay. Let's go ahead and skip, and let's skip to number 22 here. Okay, so we can see one with multiple variables. So we start off 3 over 2. Can't simplify 3 over 2. That part's done. And now we have multiple x. We have x's and we have y's. So let's take care of them separately. My x's, I have x squared over x to the 0. And in my y's, I have y to the 4th over y to the 4th. Okay, so with my x's, that would be 2 minus 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. So that's going to give me x squared. Goes on the top. My y to the 4th divided by y to the 4th, it'd be 4 minus 4. Remember, that is y to the 0 power, so the y's are gone. Okay, and then this would be my answer. I would not have a y in the final answer. Okay. The last type that we have is our power property. And in our power property, the rule is that we multiply the exponents. Okay? Now, we're going to do a couple of these. Starting with number 31. The one thing we have to remember, we are multiplying the exponents. So this 3 right here, that is not an exponent. That is a base value. This base of 3, we don't write it, but it has an exponent of 1. So with the rule, I'm multiplying their exponents. So I should have, when I'm doing my work, I should have a 3 and a k written right now. Okay, and now I'm going to put the exponents on. So 1 times 3 is 3. So I have 3 to the third for the k. 2 times 3 is 6. And then the only thing I would have left to take care of is 3 to the third power. Remember, 3 to the third power means 3 times 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So this would be 27 k to the 6. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at. Make sure to take a peek at all these. Okay, let's look at number 33. Number 33. So we have v to the 4th. Sorry. We have 4v to the 3rd. On this one, it'd be 4 to the 1st power, v to the 3rd power, and the whole thing is being raised to the 4th power because it's in parentheses. So I know I should have a 4 and a v to start off. And now I got to get their exponents. For the 4, 1 times 4 is 4. It's 4 to the 4th power. For the v, 3 times 4 is 12. And then I need to figure out what is 4 to the 4th power. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. So 16, 64, 256, v to the 12th. That would be my answer. Okay. Now, you are going to see 0 exponents show up. Okay. So I'm going to actually change number 32 here right now. Let's change number 32. Let's make that a 0 exponent on the outside. So we can kind of see what would happen if we have a 0 exponent there. So we have 2b to the 3rd, and that whole thing raised to the 0 power. Well, let's go back to our rule we wrote. Okay? Anything raised to the 0 power equals 1. So right now, we have a 2b to the 3rd this whole thing is being raised to the 0 power. So I don't really have any work to do. I know the answer is 1, and I'm done. Okay? Now, that is not the same as number 36. Okay? That is not the same as number 36. Okay? Number 36, we would do just like we did numbers 31 and 33. Okay? Before the first, x to the first, y to the 0. I'm raising all of these to the 6th power. Now, I'm going to have a 4, an x, a y, start multiplying by 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. For the x, 1 times 6 is 6. For the y, 0 times 6 is 0. So I can just cross off that y. I could have done it back here, okay, because this y to 0 is going to be 1. It's going to be gone. And then I need to do 4 to the 6th power. 4 raised to the 6th power. And that is going to be 4,096 x to the 6th power. Okay? Now, what I need you guys to do is go ahead and finish this worksheet. Okay, we did some of it together here. These are the 2 main assignments that we had so far this week. This was from Monday and then today. So let's make sure we're finishing up this exponent worksheet. Make sure you put it in your tray when you are finished. And I will see you on Monday. Okay, adios.